Boyd'S said that yesterday Tomatay Skerrit called his mess conference to lie, attack women and to beg for congratulations. The Starboy of Stupidity is a sick man. She said she couldn't believe that Tomatay Skerrit stood up to defend Spineless Le-Vile and attack women. The helper said and the journalists just sat there like what shall I do? Boyd'S said Tomatay Skerrit said, I don't think this statement has met the threshold for resignation of anyone who would have said this. She said Spineless Le-Vile is not blessings. He is the Attorney General of Dominican who made the derogatory comments in Parliament. The helper said this is not a comment made by Peter Prose while drinking his kwédé by Davos. Boyd'S said that Tomatay Skerrit had the straight-face audacity to say that we have seen many of my ministers, my own wife, so many things have been said about her publicly. The deceased Madam Speaker, even the current president, many things were said leading up to election of the president. None of these organizations who claim to be representing women of all races, of all creed, of all class and political affiliation said anything. She said that no member of the Parliamentary Opposition, even during the UWP-led opposition, ever disrespected a female government member of parliament. In fact, the female of Labah Grabberment laughed when Austrie Lang Sal disrespected Senator Monelle and same Mrs. Anette Sanford in parliament. The helper said my atjwèlman chat koupé chien la. Boyd'S said the urgency and momentum of getting Spineless Le-Vile out has to intensify. She said the women organizations have to push back on the lies, insults and disrespect from Tomatay Skerrit. This is the same Zanfan San Papa who is still harboring Whiteless in his kabinot, after Whiteless gave his Kalinego femme doer a brutal beating that killed her unborn child called baby Sarah. She said to ask Tomatay Skerrit why for several years, Birnie Crooks placed her young stud craving cougar backside on the prostitution case he and his purchased ministers against Lennox Linton. The helper said that Birnie Crooks knows that no one was referred to as a prostitute, but the whole kabinot knows that Demoted Catherine was a home wrecker and Weave Denise was a Labah Cabal clothes peg. The chef said that she would like to place on record why we ended up with a forced-rape Kalinego president. She said that Tomatay Skerrit's first choice for president was Dr. Carissa. She was approached by him and she told him she will get back to him. Soon after she had prepared her mind, she called him. He did not answer and did not return the call. The helper said the same way to Zanfan Malediction treated to old Speaka and hastened her to her grave. The chef said after some time had passed and Dr. Carissa called him a second time to confirm her acceptance. And again the Starboy of Stupidity did not respond or return her call. Lunatic Roosevelt had a grown and well-accomplished lady dogging him. All that time, de old Speaka was waiting in slips. She said when Tomatay Skerrit finally had a conversation with Dr. Carissa, he was playing cat and mouse. Because by then the Boudicale presidency of Tweet Francine was conceived. The helper said but Molly de Donkey, not the Boudicalers could deceiving. Not how deceitful flashy Claudie liked to receive backwardly. The chef said that Sauvage Bido Catholic Sylvanie was never in the picture. But when under-serviced Mel Kaibosh de Boudicale presidency, Tomatay Skerrit made a desperate call to unpopular Sylvanie. As P.S., she was on her way to chair a meeting of heads of departments of her ministry. The Bido Catholic was so shocked that she called the waiting officers to cancel the meeting. Because Tomatay Skerrit told her that she was going to be Ayatollah Charlo's replacement. And that is how we got our forced rape president. The helper said just how Pish Opera is trying to force rape our underage schoolgirls by offering money to buy their ice pops. The chef said that Mistress President said at her nomination rally the ancestors must be dancing in the clouds, no. Those ancestors must be angry and reminded them of Christopher Columbus and how he treated them. They must have called on their rain gods to wash away all the evil that will trespass against us at the White House. The helper that he hopes Tomatay Skerrit will not trespass against Fisherman Gilly's fish pot into White House. The assistant chef said even rope has an end. And the end of Tomatay Skerrit is much closer than his evil beginning. She said Tomatay Skerrit is under a lot of international radars because of his premeditated associations with many rogues and vagabonds. There are several sealed files in courts around the world waiting for Tomatay Skerrit to leave office. That is why the Capon from Itasi was trying and is still looking for a window into the presidency. The helper said just how Spineless Le-Vile is now working on balancing F.S. Tall Edward's sheet. To assistant chef that Tomatay Skerrit's Padna in crime Alison Maddock appeared in a London court on Monday, September 2, 2023 over bribery offences. Over 8 years ago Tomatay Skerrit issued Alison Maddock a Dominica diplomatic passport #DP000445 on May 21, 2015, with an expiry date of May 20, 2020. Shortly after she received the passport she was arrested in England for bribery and other offences. The helper said up to now Tomatay Skerrit has failed to inform Dominicans how much he sold out diplomatic passport to Maddock. Just how Lil Willie Tony's bird has failed to inform him why calling McIn liar has more rights to feel her than him. The assistant chef said Tomatay Skerrit is aware that his name will come up sooner rather than later for his involvement in facilitated and working with international criminals. She said just last week 2 international criminals with Dominican passports were arrested in a $1 billion money laundering raid in Singapore. The helper said that is why Mono Nathan Sabin, Slick Alec, Isidore and subsection Lennox no longer travel though U.S. ports of entry. Ma Boyd said that she wants to know who in the hierarchy of Labah doesn't want nasty business on the Creole Festival lineup. The chef said that she wants to know when will Reverend Edhi, the homeless Monsignor, Fada LVO, Pastor Ty Kout Timothy, Pastor BJ and Evangelist Peter R are going to condemn Tomatay Skerrit for contaminating our traditional cultural expressions with nasty filthy, raw sewage business. The helper said that he wants to know where Tomatay Skerrit said that Razor Blade Glenroy at local government and Flipper Ears Fitzroy at ODM were his 2 worst appointments.